The fence around the circular pool is 75 feet long. What is the diameter? Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. Do not include units in your answer. I'm going to start with a sketch. So here's my circular pool. And it says that there's a fence around. Right? So that means I'm going around the outside of the pool. As soon as I hear someone talking about going around a circle, I know that we're talking about the circumference. So I now know that the circumference is 75 feet. I'm going to use one of the two circumference formulas. I can either use the one that has diameter, or I can use the one that uses radius. Since my answer is asking me to find the diameter, that's the one I'll use. So I'll use circumference equals pi times diameter. Now that I've identified the formula that I'm using, I can start to substitute numbers into this formula. So I do know what the circumference is. It's 75 feet. So I'll substitute that in for C. I know from the problem that I'm supposed to use 3.14 for pi, so I'll substitute that here. And then what I'm looking for is the diameter, so I'll leave that as the diameter, as D. I'm going to divide by the coefficient 3.14 on both sides. By doing that on both sides, it keeps this balanced. When I 3.14 divided by 3.14, it gives me a coefficient of 1, which is what I was hoping for. On the other side of the equation, I'll divide from top to bottom, just like we read. And 75 divided by 3.14 gives me 23.885, blah, 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 blah. It just keeps going. Now, the instructions do tell me to round my answer to the nearest whole number. So I'll look here at the whole numbers. I'll use the value of 8. 8 will ask me to round up. So I'm going to use 24 equals diameter as my answer. That is the correct answer. If you chose the answer of diameter equals 37.5, you got that answer by taking 75 and dividing it by 2. I think that you got confused about some of the other relationships that happen in circles. So in circles, we have the relationship where the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, and the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So when I'm looking at this answer choice here, it makes me wonder whether you got confused and you were thinking about looking for half because you were confused about whether we were looking at the relationship between diameter and radius. So my suggestion to help you avoid a problem like this in the future is to, number one, as often as possible, try to make a sketch. For me, doing this sketch really made it clear that I had information about the circumference, and then I also used my formula. And when I used the formula, it helped me line up all of my numbers into the right places. And then I used my algebra skills to work backwards. So these are strategies that I use to keep my work accurate. And those are things that I would recommend for you as you move forward. You also might have gotten confused about the vocabulary. Like maybe you're not sure what the word diameter means. So perhaps you want to spend a little bit of time learning those words and their definitions so that you can be more accurate in your work moving forward.